Tafari Campbell, who used to cook for the Obamas, had a terrible accident. Campbell was paddleboarding with another person on the day of the incident that took his life. And he wasn't just the chef for the Obamas. They considered him a close friend. But some people think Tafari knows the Obamas' dark secrets, eventually leading to his death. Keep watching till the end of this video to see the truth behind Obama's chef's death. Barack Obama's involvement in Tafari Campbell's death. Tafari Campbell had traveled to Martha's Vineyard in July for a visit. An avid paddleboarder, he took to the waters of Edgartown Great Pond near the Obama family's summer residence. Unfortunately, the recreational activity turned disastrous when he lost his footing and fell into the water. Eyewitnesses last spotted Campbell struggling in the water, but despite their efforts, they could not reach him in time. The tragic incident was immediately reported to Edgartown Emergency Services, which mobilized a search and rescue operation involving numerous public safety agencies. The situation led to a massive joint agency search involving dive teams, boat crews, and even a Coast Guard helicopter. His body was discovered the following morning, submerged 8 feet underwater and approximately 100 feet from the shoreline. The recovery was made possible by the Massachusetts environmental police officers, who had deployed side-scan sonar from a boat to locate Campbell's body. After extensive investigations, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner of Massachusetts released its ruling on Tuesday. The decision was based on comprehensive autopsy results that, in line with the state's policy, are kept confidential and not shared with the public. The Massachusetts State Police had initially found no suspicious circumstances surrounding Campbell's death. There were no external injuries or signs of trauma on the body. But David Garrow, a historian who knows a lot about Obama, shared some surprising stuff in a talk with a tabloid magazine. He had written a detailed book called Rising Star: The Making of Barack Obama, which told us much about the former president's past. He talked about parts of Obama's life that might make people see him differently than they usually do. In the 1980s, a woman named Sheila Mayoshi Yeager was close to the young Barack Obama. She said that she and Obama grew apart because he wasn't firm enough to oppose anti-Semitism. That was a big thing to say, especially when Obama's own book tells a different story. In his words, their problems were more about skin color differences. Now, David Garrow, who's been looking super closely at Obama's life, tried to ask the former president's lawyer about Obama's father, and the lawyer wasn't happy at all. It's like the door was closed right in Garrow's face. He once said he's not a regular politician or person. That's a different way to think about Obama, right? Garrow found some old letters that Obama wrote to Alex McNear. Garrow felt that some things in the letters might hint that Obama had feelings for men. However, we can only be partially sure what those letters mean. Some people even wonder if they're real or if Garrow is reading too much into them. When discussing writing, Garrow didn't seem too happy with a book Obama wrote called Dreams from My Father. He raised concerns, pointing out that the book might not tell the whole truth. He said the book is filled with inaccuracies. He believes that some stories, whether from sunny days in Hawaii or adventures in the windy city of Chicago, might have been changed or stretched by Obama. But here's something even more interesting. It's not just a few people talking quietly about Garrow's thoughts. Even big newspapers like the New York Times are paying attention. They're listening to what Garrow has to say and taking seriously his ideas about the stories Obama has told about his life. This shows that Garrow's concerns are making waves and making people think twice about what they really know about Obama's past. Rumors surrounding Barack Obama's golf pictures. Now, with all the talk about the sad accident involving Tafari Campbell, many people started speculating and guessing about what happened. With the accident happening so close to where the Obamas stay, many stories and ideas started floating around. Just think about it. At almost the same time people talked about the accident, photos came out of Obama playing golf. And if you look closely, you'll see something strange. His fingers were covered in bandages. This small detail made people even more curious and suspicious of Obama's involvement in Tafari's death. A Twitter account posted that hints little about a tell-all book that Tafari Campbell might have written. But if you took the time to look at his Instagram pictures, you wouldn't find a clue about any such book. Instead, you'd see many pictures of food he made, pictures with his family, and just regular everyday stuff. It's just the kind of pictures anyone might post of their life. There were no big secrets or shocking news in any of those pictures. On the other hand, some people were coming up with all sorts of ideas and stories about what might have happened. But then David Procopio, Massachusetts State Police spokesman, said very clearly that when Campbell passed away, nothing strange was going on. And remember how people were talking about Obama's fingers being covered in bandages? There was a lot of guessing about what that was all about. Well, someone who works with Obama told everyone the simple reason. Obama was just trying to avoid sore spots or blisters on his fingers while playing golf. It's something a lot of people who really like to play golf do. They wrap their fingers to keep them from getting hurt so they can play better. It's a normal thing and makes much sense if you think about it. Many people who play golf do this to make sure they can play their best. Barack Obama's deep secret revealed. Amid all the talking and guessing, David Samuels from Tablet magazine decided to share his thoughts. He wanted to show the different stories that were being told about Obama. He looked closer at what Sheila Mayoshi Yeager said about her time being close with Obama when they were younger. Samuels said, "In Yeager's story, Obama's actions look like they're all about him. But in what Obama says, his actions seem true and real." Since Obama left his job as president, some people like Samuels are very interested in what he's been up to. They watch his every move, trying to figure out his motives. Samuels wondered out loud, why is Obama, who is not that old and not president anymore, still living in the city where presidents work? Especially when Sasha, Obama's youngest daughter, has already finished school. So Samuels thinks there might be something more going on. He even hinted that important people are visiting Obama's house often. Building on what Garrow said about Obama, Samuels had another interesting point. He said that while you might hear Obama talking about deep topics on radio stations like NPR in his free time, he's more likely chilling with famous movie stars on big boats than visiting a friend who might be sick. But here's something to think about in today's world, where news and stories spread super fast on social media. It's hard to tell what's real and what's just a rumor. Everyone is always looking at their phones or reading newspapers, trying to keep up with all the latest news. There's so much talking and guessing about Obama, the people he knows, and things from his past. Stories range from the sad incident with Tafari Campbell to what people like Samuels and Garrows say. Even a tiny lie can change a story completely. So what do you think happened? Was Obama really behind his chef's death? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments below.